He tried to speak. His mouth was dry, and his tongue stuck painfully to the roof of his mouth. I'm...
Here, have a sip of water.
She held a nippled bottle, like a baby's, for him. The water was warm and stale. She seemed to be having trouble holding up the bottle, like she was weak herself.
Do you know your name?
She glanced at the foot of the bed.
Yuri Eden. That's all we have for you. No recorded next of kin. Is that right?
He just shrugged, a tentative movement, flat on his back. She looked him over, peered into his eyes, checked some kind of monitor beside the bed.
My name is Dr. Poinar. I'm ISF, I have a crew rank, but you can call me Doctor. You've taken your time coming out of the induced coma the peacekeepers put you into. Still, it was easier to ship you through the launch that way. More than half the crew dreamed it all away, in fact. I'm going to see if I can sit you up, okay?
She pressed a button. With a whir of servos, the back of his bed began to tip up, lifting him, bending him at the waist. He felt weak, and his head was like a tub of sloshing liquid. The ward greyed around him. He felt a crawling sensation in his right arm, some kind of fluid being pumped into him. Dr. Poinar watched him carefully.
You okay? All right, here's the 5-second briefing. You'll be put through a proper induction process later. Everybody's going through that in stages. Classroom stuff and data access first while you get your strength back. Then physical work later, including your share of maintenance chores.
She glanced at his notes.
More of that if you end up on a punishment detail, and looking at your record, that seems more than likely. But the priority for you is reconditioning. Your body needs to relearn how to handle full gravity. The nerve receptors that handle your posture, positioning, and movement are all baffled right now. Your inner ear doesn't know what the hell's going on. Your fluid balance is all wrong, and you're going to have low blood pressure symptoms for a while. Here, drink this.
She handed him another flask, and this time he took it for himself. It was a briny fluid that made him splutter.
You'll get courses of injections to rectify your bone calcium loss and such, and physio to build up your muscle strength and bone mass. Do not skip those. Oh, and your immune system will be hit. Every virus everybody brought into this hole has been running around like crazy. You'll have a few weeks of fun with that. Later on, there will be further medical programs, pre-adaptation for prox, preventive surgery of various kinds.
She grinned, faintly cruelly.
How are your teeth? But that won't be for another year or more.
Prox? A baby started to cry, not far away. Dr. Poinar asked,
Any questions? I'm sure there are masses. Just use your common sense. For now, just sit there and let the dizziness pass. Don't lie down again. I'll come by later and see if you can take some solid food. And watch out for the catheter. The nurse will remove that later. Take it easy, Yuri Eden.
She walked out of his view. Still, that baby cried, not far to his left. Very cautiously, he turned his head that way. The greying returned, and a ringing in his ears, but he waited until it passed. He saw more beds crowded into a room that couldn't have been more than 7, 8 meters across, smaller than he had expected. Some of the beds had cloth partitions around them. More medical types and a couple of servo robots glided through the narrow spaces between the beds. Equipment dangled from the ceiling, including what looked like a teleoperated surgical kit, all manipulator arms and laser nozzles and knives. In the bed closest to Yuri, to his left, lay a young woman, a girl, really, pale, blonde hair, fragile-looking, intensely beautiful. She cradled a baby, a bundle of blankets. As she rocked it, the crying slowly subsided. She saw Yuri looking. He turned his head away, making his vision spin again. At Eden, he'd developed the habit of avoiding eye contact, of giving people their own bubbles of privacy.
It's okay.
Her accent was soft, maybe Eastern European. He looked back.